school. She plays volleyball, throws shot and discus in track, and is part of the band Forensics FBLA, FCCLA, Forensics Scholars Bowl, and the school play. Busy girl. Thank you for coming.
Before I start, I just want to say thank you guys for having me here. It's, a great opportunity to be here. So, like she said, my name is Kady Toole. I am 16 years old, and I'm from a small town in northern Kansas. And so today I'm going to be talking about my book that I wrote and illustrated. So you may be wondering, what does it take to make a children's book? And that's what I'm here to tell you today. So the first thing it takes inspiration. So my inspiration was my dog. Her name is Izzy. She is 3/4 Corgi and 1/4 Australian Shepherd, which is called a cowboy Corgi, which is kind of where I got that inspiration for my book being themed around the Wild West, since it's kind of like a whole cowboy story. So it also takes an idea. So I went with the inspiration I had for my dog with the Wild West theme, and from there I kind of created this setting and everything where Izzy is the main character, and she's the pet of the sheriff of the town, and then she has to stop the bad guys and save the day. So it also takes a bunch of different tools and lots of time and practice. So what I used to make all the illustrations in my book was a Canvas 20. It's a Huion tablet, which if you can see it in the picture there, it's this big old drawing tablet, and I can hook it up to my computer, and then I can draw directly on it, and it'll show on the screen. And it was a really handy tool, because if I didn't have that, I feel like it would have taken me a lot longer than just a semester. So I also do a lot of doodling and practice, and when I have time. So for example, these are some of my original sketches I did of the bad guys, and when you see the illustrations in my book, you can see where I kind of stayed consistent with my drawings and my sketches. So my book ended up being 28 pages with 28 individual pictures. I'd say I spent about 90 minutes on each illustration. So in total, that's about 70 hours overall, which is not including the actual writing of the book and laying out the text and everything on there. So this is this is a time lapse of one of my illustrations that I did. It's condensed down into about 30 seconds, but like I was saying, this took me about an hour and 30 minutes just to do. So as you're looking at this, you can kind of see the process that I went through to make all these illustrations, and just see the ending product and how I got there. So it also takes help. So since it was a school project, I was required to have a mentor. So my mentor was Frankie Duncan, and she actually wrote a couple children's books. She didn't illustrate them, but she wrote them. And so she helped me a lot through this process, whether just kind of proofreading and making sure I'm on the right track, or just helping me contact some publishing companies when I needed to. I also got a bunch of help from my mother, since she is the art teacher at our high school. She helped critique my illustrations and made sure they actually looked good. I also got help from Mrs. Peterson, who is the English teacher at our high school, and she basically did all the correcting of all my writing, so I didn't have to do that, which was really nice because I'm not really good at that. So after the end of last semester, I'd finished all these drawings and all these illustrations, and I'd gotten a bunch of feedback from friends and family, and they're like, this is pretty good, maybe you should get this published. So over Christmas break, I talked with my mom, and we contacted some publishers, and we decided to publish the book. So I do have my book as a video here. If we have time at the end, maybe you guys can watch it, and Mrs. Peterson will be reading it, and she does some pretty great voices. So like I was saying, it takes a publisher. So the publishing company that I self-published through was Outskirts Press. So I had to pay for the publishing and printing, and Outskirts Press gets the ISBN number, and they put it on book lists, make it available to dealers on Amazon or Barnes & Nobles, but I get to retain all of the copyrights. So it also takes a financial investment, which is why I have grandparents. But the price just to publish all the books was $1,600, and then just for one book, and we bought them in bulk, so it was about $7. And like I said, we bought initially 500 books, but since we've sold all those, we had to buy another 500. So I still have plenty of books if you guys want one.
And she'll sign it for you.
So it also takes a pricing plan. So like I said, my book is available on Amazon, but it costs $17.99, which is more expensive. But the thing about that is I only make $1 per book when it's sold on Amazon, because it's on-demand printing with Outskirts, so they just print it there and then they ship it off to wherever it needs to go. But since I bought 500 initially, I sell them myself for $12, which can be bought on my website or just from me in person. And so I profit about $5.32 per book. So what does it take to actually sell a children's book? So that's actually what I'm figuring out now, doing all these presentations and everything. And my project for this semester is working on promoting it and actually selling it. So I've learned that it takes a brand. So I've had to go out, read to people, sell my book, come to things like this where I have to present and do all that fun stuff. So I've really kind of learned that I am the brand, I am selling myself, and I guess, but you know, and I just really have to learn. I have to be, you know, positive and cheery and yeah, so I've had to do a bunch of personal appearances. I've read to about all the elementary classes at our schools, and I've gone to a few daycares, and I did some Easter promoting and all that stuff too. So it also takes an online presence. Like I was saying, I have a website called izzythecorgi.com. So on that website, you can learn about me and Izzy. You can see different reviews that I've gotten for the book. You can also see the different places where the book has actually gone and other families have it. And of course, I also have a shop there, so you can buy my book. So on the website, we take PayPal, credit card, and we can ship it. And if they're in, you know, a closer area, we can deliver it or do pickup. So it also takes social media. So I have a Facebook account, and you can follow me if you want to, Kady Toole. And I try to update at least every other day. Doesn't always happen, but I try to. And there, I just try to, push sales, get people to go to my website and buy my book. I also have an Instagram account. It's Kady and Izzy. I haven't done a whole lot with that yet, but it just takes time, and that's kind of the things that I'm learning throughout this process about the different things that I have to do. So it also takes reviews. So you can review my book on Amazon, Goodreads, Library Things, and LinkedIn. So the reason why reviews are so important is because when your book or product or whatever you're selling has a bunch of reviews, that means it's more popular, and it makes it more likely for those people who are just searching random things or just scrolling and shopping. It makes them more likely to stumble upon my little book and maybe buy it. So that's really something that's really important. So it also takes physical presence. So I've done book signings, I've been to some vendor fairs, craft shows, I've been talking with some libraries about doing some things over the summer, and it's just a new thing for me because I'm not really used to going out and actually talking to people. So it also takes a village. So people purchasing my book and sharing it, and of course reviewing it. So for example, this lovely picture here is of my neighbor Patty Smith. She has been a huge help in this process because she has purchased a bunch of books, and she's been sharing them with her daughters, who are sharing them with her friends and her teacher friends in Topeka, and it's just, hopefully it spreads out farther. And she also shares things about my book wherever she goes. Like, she was at the hair salon the other day, and she told people about my book, and it's really nice to have those people out there who are doing that for you, because it really helps in the whole process. So once again, I just wanted to say thank you, and this was a great opportunity for me. Do any of you guys have any questions?
Why don't you hold up one of your books?
Oh yeah, I can do that. Yes. Okay, this is my book. It's nice and slick.
Do you foresee yourself writing other episodes about Izzy?
Yes, actually, I've done, my mother and I have done some research, and they say if you want to become, more well-known and get your name out there, you need to have a couple books published. So I'm hoping to start writing another one over the summer when I have more time.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yes.
Do you receive any high school credit for this?
Not really. I mean, for the actual, the project that we did with the class, the Explore class, it was just project-based learning, and the entire school had to do it, and then we had to present ours to the entire school if you did so well, which I ended up getting first. So I guess credit, maybe. I got a trophy. Any other questions?
Well, this is your chance to get a signed edition. If you got grandkids, nephews, nieces, it's a great little book. I've got a copy, and Kady will sign it for you.
Can I borrow yours?
Buy your own copy.
You want to make a career out of writing? Is that your future? I know you're only 16, but...
Well, I do, for college, as far as college goes, I plan to go in the art field, graphic design, or maybe even illustration. I really haven't thought about it a whole lot yet, because I'm only a sophomore. But I do, hopefully in the future, plan to write some more, yeah, and maybe make it what I do. I don't really know yet, but...
I heard an illustrator one time tell me how difficult it is to draw like your dog, and draw it the same every time you get bored, you want to do something different, but you can't really do that. Is that-
Yeah, and that's what was really handy with the tablet that I had, because for some of them I could like select it and then copy it and paste it. So then a lot of the times I'd only have to change a few little things instead of redrawing it again, which is very handy. Yeah. Okay. Anyone else?
Let me just say, wow. That's very impressive,
Thank you.
especially at 16. At 16, I was just a year older than 15.
Right down the road.
Yeah, plus all the other extracurricular activities that were reeled off here when we said that. So yeah, I'm impressed too. So here's a pen. Thank you. Kind of to write with. Any other comments?
I'd like to, how's COVID affected your school? What have you coped with in that?
As far as school goes, this whole year we've had to wear masks and everything. We've been mostly in person. It's just if you got quarantined, then you just did it virtually. And for like at the beginning of the school year, a little bit, our the state of Kansas, the way our school interpreted it or whatever their whole thing, I don't even know, but they made it so if you were within 6 feet and you still had a mask on, you still had to be quarantined. So I was quarantined a couple of times, but it didn't really affect as far as like making the book goes, because then I didn't have to bring all my stuff to school to draw. So it was nice.
So you said this project was a semester project. That was the fall semester of this year? And now you're on this semester is when you're marketing that, and is that a project through the school? Is that all on your own?
Yeah, it's through the school. We're doing the same thing we did the previous semester.
Okay.
And I've just been working on it. We have competencies that we have to accomplish, and so it's a lot of work, but a lot of the other students in my class, they really like it. So it's different than a lot of the other things we've done. So yeah.
But you said a little town in northeastern Kansas, but it's the biggest town in the county. But so how many kids are in your town?
And so in our high school, there's about, I don't know, like maybe a little, because we're 2A.
Yeah,
So
130.
Yeah.
So
and my
four classes.
yeah my
In high school?
Yeah.
Okay.
My sophomore class is one of the biggest because we have 30, and that's about the biggest class we have.
When do you get to reach break even on your book?
Well, at one point we did break even, but then we bought more books.
Just raises the bar though, so you make more money, right? So how do you want to handle this if we're interested in buying a book?
I can take cash, or I have one of those fancy little square things that takes card.
Good.
If that works.
Card reader.
Got a card reader.
Yeah, and I'll sign it and everything.
So, do you want to sit there and do that? Thank you very much, we appreciate you. And that's all I have. Anything else? Not, the meeting's adjourned.